President of South Juniors and have had the pleasure of knowing Abera since he commenced working with us in 2008. I'm delivering this eulogy today at the request of Lisa and on behalf of our board of directors, management team, staff and our 45,000 members. And I take this opportunity to pass on our deepest condolences to Lisa, Hannah and Hope and the extended family. I'd like to also take this moment to acknowledge and thank Chris Princelis and his wife Michelle for the love and support they provided for Lisa, Hannah and Hope. And they've been the conduit between the club and the family since this terrible passing. I, as did all of you and loved Abera. I was walking to the foyer of the club and there would be his big cheesy grin. He'd say, "Morning, boss." Sorry, I should have adjusted that. Can you hear me all right? "Morning, boss." I would shake his hand. It was like putting it into a baseball mitt. And it was just a sign of mutual respect. I met Lisa, Hannah and Hope at the club last week, and during the course of our conversation it was obvious of the love in this wonderful family. Lisa told me of the love Abera had for the juniors, our staff and our members. He cherished working here. Lisa told me that Abera always promised to take her to the club for a meal, but he didn't get around to it. Last Monday, Lisa, Hannah and Hope, along with Chris, Michelle and the kids, they had that meal at the club, and I'd like to think that Abera's spirit was with them on the evening. Lisa also told me of the time that Abera suffered from Legionnaire's disease and couldn't for a period of 4 years work. Lisa took it upon herself. She went out and worked 2 jobs to support the family. When Abera did become well enough to work again, he told Lisa he wanted to obtain a security licence. Lisa financed the process and said it was the best money she ever spent, because ultimately that's what led Abera to all of us here at the juniors. I read a beautiful post from Rosalie Richards on Facebook last week. Rosalie's one of our staff at the club. It spoke of the cuddles Abera would give when she arrived at work. Rosalie's daughter Jess, who also worked at the club until she became a mum twice, would come up to the club to see Dr. John, get the kids check-outs and what have you, and Abera would be on the door, and Abera got to know obviously Jess from working, but also the kids, and he would always be checking on their well-being. Genuinely cared for everybody. That was the man. That Facebook post prompted me, when asked to speak today, to speak to some of our staff in relation to the connection that Abera had with us. Bernie Henderson, an employee of 20 plus years and a close friend of Abera, wrote, "Abera started his employment at the juniors in February 2010. Prior to Abera working at the juniors, he was employed by TJ Security for approximately 2 years as a security guard." Well, he still did. And I'm pleased to say that Todd Jakes, the managing director of TJ's, is here with us today as well. Abera often spoke of wanting to have job security and would love to get a job at the juniors because he loved the staff, the members and the atmosphere of the juniors. Abera also wanted job security for himself and for Lisa and the girls. A position became available at the club for a doorman. We spoke about our, just aside, Abera in relation to working security at the door and how he loved her and everyone loved him back, but who was going to play up with him? he just had to stand there. Bernie told Abera about the job and he said he wanted to apply for it. Abera didn't have a resume, so together they wrote a letter of interest for the doorman's position. I know Peter Heaney, I see Peter's here today, he's been with us for many, many years in our HR department, and he could judge a good employee when he saw one, and Peter duly gave him the job. Abera was successful with his application, was so grateful that I helped him with this job application. When Abera was told he got the job, he picked me up and spun me around and said he was so happy to be employed by the juniors. I told Abera he had to put me back down on the floor before he crushed my ribs. Abera started working at the juniors on February 24, 2010. Abera said it was a very proud moment for him when his employment was confirmed. Abera became such an integral part of the juniors. Children coming in for their swimming lessons would not leave the foyer until Abera had stamped their small hand with a smiley face. Some children even said it was no one stamped the hand as well as Abera, except for Big Les Thompson. The funny thing, Big Les would be on the door and everyone thought he was a boogie man. The only one who didn't were the kids, because the kids can see through all of that, can't they? We had, and we also had special needs kids coming to the weekend to learn how to swim, and these kids adored Abera. And in fact, a mother brought her daughter in only last week with a get well card and a cake, and they were both inconsolable when they heard the news that Abera had passed. Abera also used to hail a cab for some of the patrons who needed to catch a cab home. Abera would stand out the front and whistle. I'm sure the cabs heard him from a kilometre away. Abera's presence in the foyer was felt by every person who entered the club. He was loved by all and will certainly be sadly missed by all. Chris Princelis leads our security team at the club. Right. And Chris, as I said with Michelle, has been great support to the family. Abera started his employment at the juniors in February 2010. The directors, management staff and members all loved Abera. Abera being a loving family man who worked long hours as a doorman for the club, and on his days off he also worked as a security officer for TJ's, the firm contracted to the club. He did this for two reasons: to provide for his family and also for the absolute proudness that it meant to him working at his South Juniors. Abera was a man that breathed and wore kindness, happiness and friendliness. He was a man that you enjoyed being around. Abera was a man of unquestionable loyalty to myself and towards other security personnel, also to all staff, members, patrons of the club itself. And Chris signs off by saying how much we're going to miss Abera. And finally, Vaevae, a staff member of approaching 25 years who only retired last Thursday. What can one say about Abera? He was a much loved person who lived for his family and immensely enjoyed his workmates and his position here at the club. He was an ordinary man. When I say ordinary, I mean he wasn't a well-known singer, politician or anything like that, but he was a man who exuded warmth and love to everyone he met. He made every person feel special, and I have to say everyone loved him, though he was very special himself, our own gentle giant. The girls in reception nicknamed him Panda many years ago. The panda is among the shyest and rarest in the world and a sizable animal. It described him aptly. They don't come any rarer than him. He would remember the little things which are so important to an individual that no one else seemed to care about or understand. Like the panda, he was shy until he got to know you. Then he shared his wonderful sense of humour, and he really did have a great sense of humour. I have worked here for well over 20 years, and in that time I've never known another member of staff who touched every single person the way he did. The staff, elderly people, the unruly, the youngsters who got swimming lessons absolutely adore him, as we do who work with him. He'll be greatly missed. I know our staff and members, we're all devastated losing Abera, and I know particularly our security and reception team, Amy, Moffat and all the girls and that out there. It's just not the same turning up for work at the moment. But, time is what heals everything, isn't it? In closing, I would like to thank Lisa for bestowing upon me the opportunity to speak today, Lisa. And on behalf of the club, I'd like to invite everybody to come back to the Henry Morris Lounge at the conclusion of the service and share some wonderful memories they have of Abera. I, for one, certainly miss that baseball mitt. Thank you.